Hello everyone, what is up? Magico here, doing my first ever tutorial for you guys. Hope you like it. Now this tutorial will be on how to use Adobe Photoshop CS6 to create our live stream overlay for Starcraft2 Heart of the Swarm. Firstly, you need to go into Starcraft2, create a game, get your hotkeys across the top bar, so 1 to 9 I usually do, and create 24 workers. Once 24 workers are done, you box them up so they all show up on the bottom screen, and then press Ctrl Print Screen. Once that is done, open Adobe Photoshop. Now before that guys, pause the video so you can do this. In the next section, Photoshop will be up and I'll go through Photoshop with you guys. Alright guys, so I just want to go into the Starcraft 2 part. You have 24 workers created. Get that out of the way, sorry. 24 workers created. Hotkeys 1 to 9, so you do press Control Print Screen. Freezes a little bit. Then we go to open Adobe Photoshop. For some reason the project is in the background. Right, so from here you go File, New, and you change the name to whatever you want the overlay to be called. So this is going to be Tutorial. And press OK. Now you see this background image here. What you need to do is come down to this little square box down here next to the little delete button, add the new layer, right click on background, delete that layer, press yes, that layer is selected, Control V to get your Protoss image up onto the screen. Now from here, if you wonder what the hell do I do next, from here you go down to the bottom again and you press new layer again. Click back on layer 1, double click to highlight it and call this the base layer. Enter. We do not do anything to the base layer. Click on layer 2 to highlight that. Across here on the left hand side you have this tool here, rectangular marquee tool. Select that and drag over the action bar. Like little ants going around in a nice box around the overlay. So go to the bucket, choose black and fill it in, and then we have a nice black box in front of the action bar. Press Ctrl D to deselect things. Now we can't see our action bar, so you go to opacity down to 50% or close to 50%. There we go. So from here guys, you want to deselect areas where you want to see. So if you want to have those two shown, the idle worker and how many warpings you got, by all means delete them out. You want the clock to be shown, especially the mini-map, the area where all your workers have been shown, what building's been selected, hotkeys is very important, and if you want to keep that open there for your command card, also that needs to be deselected as well. So we need to go to this tool underneath the box, which is known as the polygonal lasso tool, and we go press Control plus to zoom in, Control minus to zoom out. So Control plus to go in to the image, drag the box across, scroll down, Control plus one more time. So firstly, I want to know how many other workers I got. So you click in the box and you just click around, hold shift to straighten the line, see how it straightens up, or leave it on free roam by just moving the mouse. So I like to shift to make it quite neat, and you just follow the edges of where you want to deselect this black square we've just put across the action bar. So it's very tedious, I know. So you got then that automatically gets selected. All you do is press your delete button, Control D to deselect, press Control minus to zoom out. The little eye there shows what layer has been selected. Press that, and there you go. There's a white box over there. So when you do the overlay, when I get to it, you deselect that area, and that will be shown. So we go in again. Yes guys, this is very slow and very tedious, but for all the sections you do, this is what you has to be done. So click in there, click there, hold shift for the straight line, shift for the straight line, free roam, shift for the straight line, shift for the straight line, shift for the straight line, a bit more of a curvature on this one, straight line, free roam and straight line. Double click to get it into selected and delete. So we do this for all of our areas, guys. Now you can fast forward the video so when you have all your areas deselected, or you can stay and watch until I get all the areas which I want deselected to be done. So right click on so hold down shift, increase that nice straight line to the corner where you want it, down again, down to the bottom of the minimap, across to the bottom, and up to the top, and delete. So if I press Control minus, you can see at the minute the minimap showing, idle workers and warping area. Next is the clock. So still got the lasso tool, and we're just free roaming all the areas we want to deselect. Now, next main part is the probes or SCVs or drones area where we want to be selected. So you just get your rectangle box, drag a nice box, just highlighted, press delete. Don't worry, all the probes didn't go missing, don't worry about that. And then you press, here we go. So that showed that area is now being shown. Next it is the hotkeys area. For this area you have to do it two different ways. You can make it really simple if you wanted to. Get the box, drag over all the section to the end and press delete. I don't like doing that. I like to zoom as close as I can and select the screen of what's being shown to this worker. Click around the edges of the hotkey box and then press delete on the screen. To quicken the process up, guys, don't deselect the area you've just deleted. Keep it on show and just use the arrow key to move it across to each box, line it up nice and neat, and press delete. And do this for all the number hotkeys. So yeah, that's across here again, and delete. You will have to scroll across because the image won't drag across with the box. And again, number 5. Number 6. Number 7. Almost getting there, guys. Say, it is a slow and long process, so I'm afraid if you are bored, I'm very sorry. I'm doing my best, my first ever tutorial. So all the hotkeys plates are deselected, so if I press that, as you can see, they're all deselected. Now, zoom out a little bit, go across to where the numbers are, and now zoom in again, and we're going to create a nice box for the numbers for the hotkeys. Same principle, use the arrow key to drag across instead of doing every single number. You can just move the arrow key for the selected area and then press delete in every single numbered box to quicken up this process. Nice, neat and tidy. Press delete. Delete the number 5. delete on number 6, delete on number 7, neat and tidy, number 8, and finally number 9. So if I zoom out all the way, guys, deselect the image, as you can see we have a mini map, clock, selected area, hotkeys, hotkey numbers, idle workers and warp into Protoss. It's a little different for Zerg and also for Terran. The idle worker won't be. So from there, we depends if this will be our camera location. I'll go through that in a minute. Our next part is our command card here. We want to deselect that, so zoom in, zoom down. So let's follow the edges again. So just right click in the corner, hold shift for our straight line, down to the bottom as well. Follow the curve as best you can, free roaming, straight line, knitted it up, free roam again, down the bottom, free roam the curve, a little bit high, just click back on the line, shift, and to the top, then press delete. I don't like showing the question mark, how many frames are going on the menu button. I leave that blank. So I deselect. If I change the opacity up to 100%, very bold overlay. So you're probably thinking now, well, how do I get some structure to it? Well, what you do is use another tool called the pen tool, which can create curves. So say I want to curve this area here. You go to this pen tool above the text tool, the T, click on that, zoom in, and we want to start our curve right on the end of our Protoss action bar here. Click there, and I'm going to click over here, and this line appears. What you do is you drag to the left and you see the curve happen. So that's the kind of curve I want. Hold shift and make it straight. So you can have the curve all the way over there if you wanted to, nice and pointy, but I like to keep mine nice and smooth. Then let go, press shift away from the area you don't want, click around, back to the point you started. Now you have to press Control Enter to select that area. Now instead of just pressing delete, we want to go to the erase tool and erase all that black image in that area. So erase, 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 down the line as well. That has to be done, and then all you do is press Control D, and if I zoom out, Control minus, always to zoom out, guys. There's our lovely curve into our overlay. So get the image back up. Now we don't want all this black area up here, so you just get the box tool, drag to where you don't want, so probably don't want it down to about there, across there, just press delete. We need the lasso tool for this area. And delete. So I want to do the same on this side. Grab the pen tool again, zoom in. You have to click on the end of the Protoss action bar, or the Terran action bar, or the Zerg action bar. Click to where you want to go. Hold the shift key and drag to the right this time for the curve. I'm going to do that again. There we go. So just for there, click up into the picture for the curve to go up like that, and away. Control Enter to select that image, the erase tool, and erase the areas that we don't want. Right, so that's nicely done. Control D to deselect, and we have our curvature to our overlay. Now you're probably thinking, right, well, we've done all that, that's pretty good. But what about if I want to add a webcam? My webcam usually goes in this area here. So what you do is you just get your box tool, drag a nice big square to where you want it to be, so just about there. All you do is press delete. And move across just a little bit more, like so, and a bit more again. So right on the end, there we go. So that's going to be where our webcam is going to be. So probably now there's a massive space there now. So I do need to create a new layer, drag it underneath layer 2, get the lasso tool, and we're just going to create a nice boxed area, so nice straight lines, and then there, and an image down, across there, there, and there. Get your bucket tool, black, and fill it in. Now that behind. Yep, that is now behind your first layer, because layer 2 is on top. So now you're going to get the box again, make sure you're on layer 3, and draw the size of the webcam. So about that big, move it across, press delete. Okie dokie. So now we've got our two areas, got our main action bar and the webcam area. So now you're probably thinking, well, that's all good. What about some texture to the overlay? Because I don't particularly just want a full black bar across my screen like that. Doesn't look very good or very stylish. So what we're going to do, let me just tidy up my overlay like that. Just messing now, guys. What we're going to do is you have to go into Google, all my images and stuff. Let's just get all this done. So images, so let's go, I don't know, let's go marble. That's pretty good. So we get, when you get the image you want, any texture you can search for, guys, right click, copy the image, control. Let me get a better image than that, guys. Sorry. Let's get a better image. Let's go for this blue. Right click, copy image, back into Photoshop, Control V. There we go. Right. Then you want to resize it to fit where the action bar is going to be. Click on something else to apply where that image is gone. Deselect that area and go back onto layer 2. Now, this magic wand tool is one of the best tools you can use. Make sure you selected layer 2. Right click into the main screen and hold shift to select all other areas you don't want this image that you've just copied in to show. So select in every single area which you don't want to be covered by this image. Let go of shift, click back on the layer you just created to layer 4, click on it, make sure it's shown. Now you see all this area is now selected, press delete, And there is your texture into your overlay. Now, you're probably thinking, well, it looks a bit flat. What you do is press right click, blend in options. Best friend you'll ever use in Adobe Shop is bevel and boss. So click on that. You want the contour and you want the texture and you want to add a stroke. Don't worry, I'll delete all these black lines now. So on bevel and boss, you want to soften it up to 16 and move the size so it just stands out from the page. So just enough, just like that. Stroke you want to turn down to 1 and press OK. So zoom in on all the areas where it's showing. So sorry about all the little mess, guys. So this is just a nice tutorial to show you how easy and simple it is for you to go away and do it yourself. So if I zoom in once more and then bring up the base layer back, that's our image over the top of the other action bar. So now you want the webcam area. So I want to choose another texture. Let's go for this white marble. Come on. Render like that. So right click, copy the image back into Photoshop, and there it is. So we want to deselect the areas we don't want to use and make sure the area for our webcam is up. Reposition the texture, press the 1 tool, deselect which we don't want, make sure we're on the webcam area, which is layer 3, right click, left click into the main screen, hold shift and click into the box, that's how our webcam is going to be. Select layer 5 which we've just added and then press delete, Control and D. So what we want to do again, we want to go into blending options, right click, blending options, bevel and emboss, contour and texture, and stroke. Stroke down to 1, soften up to 16, and the size just so it stands out a bit. Okie dokie. So all we do is bring everything back on. Very simple overlay, guys. But that's how simple it is to make an overlay. If you have any questions, please leave a comment in the YouTube comments below. If you would like an overlay created, I'll show you the ones I've created so far on the end of this video, because this is just a very basic tutorial to show you how to deselect things and how to add a texture to the overlay and what you can do for the whole screen. Hope to speak to you guys soon. This is Magico signing out.